Persona 4 to 5 is the joyous by far. Pick
up the phone, baby.
Persona 5 is another game I've been begging to play. Ever since the release of Royal and seeing all the fucking Twitter comments and even Donkey recommending it.
Persona Strikers was alright, but then it dawned on me that I should just beat the real Persona instead.
Personally, I've actually never watched
Persona. I just been wanting to play it on fucking Steam or I guess a Switch. But besides owning a PlayStation that's like the second one that's been passed down to my family for like 12 years that's older than me. Apparently I'm 12, I guess. I could not play it. I didn't even know there was an older version on the PS3. I just thought the Royal title was like fictitious and it was just a PS4 game. It wasn't until my friend told me that it was actually on the PS3 and I could emulate and, you know, actually fucking play it. AKA how I'm making this fucking review. The whole time I was looking at the models, the only thing I could think of was Catherine, and then I found out they made Catherine entirely to test this game's graphics. And bro, I fucking love Catherine's shaders. No one ever stopped talking about how iconic Borderlands shaders are, but nah, fuck that. Catherine is way better. Imagine making an anime model that doesn't look dog shit in 3D. That's Catherine. Look at Beastars. Dog shit. VR chat? Fuck no. Mappa? Absolutely the fuck not. Everyone's harping on using the fucking Turing test to determine our advancement on AI. Meanwhile, we should be using a fucking test on how non-dog shit a 3D anime model looks to determine our advancement on having fucking eyes and good graphics. There's so much fucking polish in these textures, it makes my nuts quake harder than when I'm ducking in the mouths of people in CSGO. How the fuck did every other 3D modeling or animation company not get on their hands and knees and start worshipping the fucking boxes came in like half the 12-year-old on Twitter before Dream blew up? Pstudio, who made most of Persona games and other SMT games, and ArcSystem Works, who made the Dragon Ball Z fighting game and Guilty Gear, are the only people in the game right now that seem to actually know how to adapt anime characters to 3D without losing an art style. Catherine was developed by Studio Zero, but that studio was led by director Katsuna Hishiro, who made Persona 3, 4, and 5, Nocturne, and other SMT series, with character designer Shigenori Kojima. It seems like this kind of effect is only really possible with people who've had years of experience and previous limitations in this field of adaptation, is why other studios, even in the modern era, seem so behind these two. Where everything other falls in this absolute mess of lack of any sense of direction, or this uncanny valley of good models with terrible sense of lighting and shading choices, often paired with clunky movement that doesn't really fit with anything you should be seeing. And of course, the in-between where the lack of finer details ruin an otherwise perfect example. These two studios achieve their look independently with entirely different methods suited for each of their needs, which is why I think the other attempts don't work. ArcSystem broke through on the 20th of February 2014 with Guilty Gear X3rd, utilizing the new Unreal Engine 3 to handle multiple platforms and using real-time shading on heavily vectorized models, experimenting with different types of mapping and cel shading to adjust how they look on every single shot and angle in order to attempt to eliminate everything 3D about their look. Even taking in consideration with how their models move, going with limited animation where the models snap in between movements rather than just gliding to the next specified point. You can see ArcSystem keeping and refining these design principles in their newer games Guilty Gear Strive and Dragon Ball FighterZ, making X3rd look outdated and bland with their more highly detailed models and smoother methods of texture mapping. The method Persona and SMT decided on is much different. Rather than try to make their transition a straight adaptation and tribute to 2D, they decided to blend the two. Making 3D bend its knee every shot and angle works in a fighting game with limited possibilities, but in a genre as expansive as an open area RPG, you can't have shaders and texture mapping exploding every time their model turns their head. At that point, just make a fucking anime. Partially the reason I think director Katsuna Hishiro has kept character designer Shigenori Sojima on so many of his projects is his style. It doesn't look that far from the typical anime style, but there's a sense of realism and oddity in their proportions and features. It's almost as if the high school art club kid that made really bad anime style art in the corner still never got the style down, but progressed as an artist so much it didn't look like absolute shit either. It demands to be different. I don't think if this style was attempted to be replicated in 3D for over 20 years and dealing with limitations not only with technology itself, but also keeping in memory enough textures and models for 40 to 50 hours of content, this would never have been achieved. If anything, keeping the huge limitations that only flattered the art style that on 2D was odd in the first place, and transitioning it to a higher volume with Catherine was more natural and in skill growth spiked in Persona 5. Have I harped on this art direction enough? Just look at this shit. The all attack is so fluid. Look how they transition Panther's models to a drawn one. Little spin, slide, and fucking bam. What an impact. This is what good art direction looks like. More of this, please.
Panther!
I'm over here stroking my dick. I got lotion on my dick.
Personally, when you're managing your school life and interacting with characters, this is when Persona is at its best. The actual gameplay is mainly kind of just a strong filler fitted in between to give it meaning and the actual connections that you're making and why. This is how you make a strong narrative RPG and doesn't make me feel like I'm just doing a bunch of fucking, like, tasks. I don't want to look at a fucking text box for, like, 50 hours. I want to fucking, like, play a little game in between it so that when I do look at text box for, like, 12 hours, it's not as fucking grating. Every character in Persona 5 feels like a real person.
What?
No, alright. I know that sounds
Can we watch something else?
I love hanging out with Blonde Boy because he's just a fucking dude. I mean, I totally flaked on him coming over to my place, hook up with some emo girl, twice, but like, come on, that's like the biggest solid a bro can give. I completely bailed on doing the Hangman and Tower Confidants, but when I started doing them just for the 100% completion, they ended up being some of the most fulfilling storylines in the game. It's crazy how I almost missed some of my favorite characters. I just wish the game made them more available so people other than fucking completionists would be interested in looking at them. Not just a limited amount of days that do these fucking things like, oh, you can only do it on like this weekend, but on this fucking Saturday, but not this Saturday because fuck you, and maybe the next one. Oh, what? No, the stat requirements fucking suck too. I don't really get the need for the 5th rank social stat. I mean, I get the 3rd and 4th because you need some incentive and another break from the non-soft confidence or memento so it doesn't get cluttered or boring like I said earlier. But the 5th rank just seemed unnecessarily long. It was only really there to stop me from being able to complete the fucking confidence before the end of the game. New Game Plus keeps your stats, but I don't really want to play the whole fucking game again for fucking like 50 hours so I can get that confident. I could just watch a YouTube video of the ranks I didn't get, but that takes all the fun and connection to these characters I'm trying to get to. Why can't there be a New Game Plus where you can constantly hop to whatever arcs and just see these special cutscenes? Or just have the game continue on forever and let me do whatever? I mean, fuck whatever complications might cause to the fucking lore of this game. I just want to get to know these characters. You apparently fuck with it in the post-game lore and Royal and Strikers, so why the fuck can't you do it to begin with? It was kind of annoying at first that every time I got a new confidant, the detective would chime in and be like, oh, you have a pretty clean room for a thief, but you had some fucking May girl on speed dial, huh? So fucking rip bod, man. But you had some tight fucking veggies. Where do you get them? Pretty much the only reason I intended to pursue the priestess confidant was to see her reaction to me telling her pull out her sister. But towards the end of the second act, just before the 3rd palace, I really started to relate to her. Also, this was like before I saw her fucking persona. Holy shit, I love this character. But if a game can make me legitimately feel for characters, that's good writing. How many shows, video games, or books have the same impact? Unless they include like 14 different fucking token characters and appeal to the mainstream like a fucking zodiac sign. Not really a lot. Pretty crazy how the best options when you're talking to people is to actually talk to them as if they're real fucking people. There's really no need to use a walkthrough with some super specific bullshit responses like it's a pop quiz. I mean, how fucking surprising is that with fucking Persona devs? Have you seen Persona 4, dude? That is fucking, what the hell is wrong with you? Well, I mean, the fucking not using walkthrough, like, that is unless you want to risk not getting as many full confidants as you can until the end of the game. I have no fucking idea why, but it seems like they made the confidants need way more points in this game from Persona 4 where you're constantly getting bonus points outside of confidant states or hangouts or whatever the fuck. Why do I need to waste my time here like a fucking chore? Why do the points for confidants not stack for each rank? Why can't I build them up to steamroll through that confidant instead of wasting like 5 days not actually progressing and let me experience the best part of the game? The only part that really fucking matters. The one thing Persona 5 has over 4 is focus on story to gameplay. Playing 4 long after I fucking finished this game made me appreciate it way more from its crummy UIs from what, fucking 2008? Oh shit, that's the actual date. It's setting the plot, the narrative, the characters, everything just fits and builds off each other so perfectly. The whole fucking like point of the game is that you and your friends fight against abusive power figures, so your friends should be built on a shared struggle with those abusive power figures. The development of party members obviously fucking matter, so the abusive power figures causing their struggle also matter. All these characters matter, so the world they live in matters. I'm really not saying anything like fucking absurd, but just give me a sec. The world you live in matters, so how you live in it should also be a big part of the game, and, well, fucking matter. Why not make this world that's so important a big one with stuff to do? Why not set in a city a place with more things to do, more things to waste time on, more people to find and build connections with, more places to go and with them to hang out at, more fucking game. Hey, while we're drinking it off with connections, with a game focused on putting down authority figures, what better fucking place than a city? Dungeon crawling was boring as fuck and had way too much backtracking for it. So why not spice it off with stuff that everybody just walks past every other fucking enemy in that game anyway to not make this game 170 hours long? Why not actually make hating the long combat part of the game? Why not make that stealth aspect part of the story? Doesn't thievery fit in taking down authority figures? Well, fuck, there you go. God damn, are fucking floors annoying it for. Having to go up and down floors one by one every time you came back for some bullshit item for a quest, wasting my fucking time. Man, if only I could actually skip the floors I wanted instead of going to the ones I already revealed the stairs to. God, wasn't it fucking stupid that they reset every time and also reset the skip to the next floors? God, that fucking sucked. Hey, here's a fucking idea. What if it wasn't an RNG bullshit maze when I spend 5 minutes going down a fucking hallway only to find out I went down the wrong path and the stairs to the next floor were like 4 feet down from the fucking other fork in the beginning of the map? What if the dungeons were actually consistent and tailored to telling a story about the people it's conveying rather than just being some fuck off location with a bunch of hallways? Doesn't that extra storytelling fit in with our focus on strong characters? Whoa, no fucking way, we're insane game designers. Almost like we learn how to make better fucking games by fucking playing it and seeing what wastes our time. Because who the fuck likes the part of the video game where I don't feel like the time wasting playing it isn't tailored towards having fun, is only wasting my fucking life away? You know what else sucked ass in Persona 4? The UI. Why not make it actually fucking good rather than this clunky garbage where you can't tell where anything is? Man, doesn't switching personas fucking suck? It makes you feel like you're pulling out 40 fucking maps and paperwork about how not to be fucked in the ass. What if it didn't? Why stop there? Make the UI for fucking middle of fights easier. Make the UI for menus better. Make the social stats give some level of fucking knowledge of where it's at instead of just giving me some garbage fucking text box that belongs to the fucking debug version of the game. I'm losing my fucking mind on this dog shit fucking UI. What? This is a fucking remake version of the game, but you still don't know what the fuck? Bruh. You get it. Well, maybe you don't. I'm just gonna assume you get it. Didn't unlocking dungeons make you want to rip out your fucking eyes out of sockets for how specific it was? Didn't having absurdly specific shit like unlocking fishing and getting 3 books from the Strength Social Link literally gave you fucking AIDS, knowing all the work towards your read all books achievement was for nothing because you were level 5 or 6 at fucking like 613, whatever the fuck month that is, and that makes it fucking impossible to get that one book as opposed to any other level in that fucking social link. What if, like, hear me out, it wasn't fucking stupid and you just played the game like some of you actually fucking played, and not something you discussed with some fucking group of nerds at your high school like it's fucking NES Zelda in the 1970s because video games had moved on from that. I guess someone at Atlas had a fucking epiphany and realized no one likes Persona for anything besides the story because every other aspect is so painfully slow, clunky, and awful. Probably stemming from the fact they haven't tried to change it for 20 years and how old this fucking series is. All this shit that I've complained about it finally attempting to learn from its past games, working in even new ways, has even more stuff that splits even more shit to expand this game, not being the exact same fucking game as every other entry of the series, or really only the fucking Shimigami Death Note games or where the fucking actually looking unique. You don't even need a fucking eyes to understand this story actually. Just listen to the fucking music.
It's now or it's never, and I've got to make my decision. This time it could be my moment.
One big dick and I suck when I say so.
That's the wrong one. Guess which one's direction is big scale instead of fucking small scale, fucking JoJo Part 3, or I mean 4.
What you know about rolling down in the deep?
The story and how they set up with these game design decisions really embody that nothing in life is disconnected. Every part of someone is entangled with these giant fucking plot threads of other people's lives and other giant fucking plot threads. You know how you'll just be like fucking driving, listening to whatever the fuck, probably Donda at this point, and realizing that every fucking car is a real person with like dreams and goals that comes from a family to the fucking tree of actual people that fucking exist and have history? Shit's fucking real, man. Every decision how this game is made just builds off each other. This isn't some fucking new idea or revelation. This is just how something good is made. That was enough giving me this fucking game props. Well, maybe not Persona 4, but I don't know why they can't do shit like making you unable to reschedule your fucking response to this text. Look at this. 2 girls text me. I know I can go to her clinic at night, so obviously I assume I can respond to that later in the evening after I'm done with the other girl. Like, that makes sense, right? Well, I guess fucking not, because here I'm at the clinic after talking to Anne. I can't do shit. What the fuck? Why? Why the fuck for the 7th day in a row can I not just go to church or the red light district or the airsoft store to do confidants that are only available that day? I had just started the Star Confidant one in the middle of the Devil and Priestess right after the 4th Palace, and for days on end, I cannot meet Makoto, what the fuck? I cannot meet her fucking once, and any time I would be able to meet Hifumi, the Blah had to jump in and lock me in this fucking room. Let me play the fucking game, dude. If you're gonna do this shit with days, let me do something at fucking evening if I haven't been in Mementos. What am I fucking tired from? Talking? I talk all the fucking time in this game. This is the whole fucking point that I like, the reason people play Persona is because they fucking talk to people. Let me fucking talk to someone I actually want to. If I can be fine and do whatever the fuck the next day after previously grinding through an entire palace in a fucking day after a shoulder rub, then I don't think I'll be fine if I just go to talk to someone instead of sleeping in early. Even when that obnoxious, annoying garbage fucking cat is here, I can't do shit. And they really want you to fucking like this cat. Like Hairu's little speech with some fucking mic drop moment and didn't sound like the ramblings of a fucking 12-year-old not knowing what the fuck they were talking about. Like they wouldn't drop dead 5 fucking inches in the palace because the 2 of them combined had the brain and muscle masses of a fucking sheet of paper. Like he's some fucking teammate that we should be caring about and miss, but I just do not give a shit. I do not fucking care. He is fucking useless, and whenever he finally fucking realized it, he threw a huge fucking hissy fit and split off like it's your fault for making him feel shitty, as if he is remotely as bad as he thinks that we view him. He's way worse. Fuck him. The only thing this fucking wasted space dogshit fucking black stain on the sidewalk motherfucker is useful for is barking your ears every 15 seconds to either not let you play this fucking game or make the observation a fucking 7-year-old and their fucking grandmother can make. Man, maybe he should have stuck with fucking Haru. They seem to have a lot in fucking common.
I love you.
Fuck off.
They try so fucking hard to make you feel bad about this too. He just wants so badly to fit in. He feels so out of place. After he finally replaced his worthless fucking yapping with Futaba, who's Emily Better's job in the team besides being my fucking ass cushion in Memento's Transit. He is the embodiment of all the shit decision making in these games that they either looked over or were looking for improvement from the other titles or new self-made ones that they pulled out of their ass to save this from being a 10 out of 10 because I guess they were too socially awkward to accept too many words for this otherwise masterpiece of an actual good fucking JRPG. I do not care for this annoying, useless abortion of a character whose only noteworthy moment is not letting me play this game for 5 fucking months, and then going a piss parade not letting me do a single action for over a week. If there was an option to have Ryuji bash his fucking brains in or join into Haru's boyfriend to kick the ever-living shit out of his god rhythm mistake, I would take it in a fucking heartbeat. Anyway, talking about actual fucking gameplay, something this fucking cat seems to not like very much. Each enemy has a ton of relations to various types of damage. This kind of shit is why the Epic Battle Fantasy series is one of my favorite JRPGs or just RPGs ever made. I really enjoy these jump monsters of the golden hand of this game, but better because there are more types of damage and each one is resistant to every type of weak to one, so you to guess which one and insult them with a bunch of different moves for a lot of reward of XP and money. It encourages you to diversify your own list of personas and your team's makeup to beat that time limit before it runs away. Unlike Persona 4 hands that just take 40 fucking years to beat and then run away at low HP. You should not be doing this with normal fucking enemies though. What the fuck were you thinking? It was really cool combining like different personas into new ones and trading skills over like a fucking better version of Pokemon breeding. I like how I can make these giant inheritance chains to make one Omega Lord a kick-ass. I like knocking all the enemies on their ass and finishing off like with a team attack or whatever the fuck. It makes encounters a lot quicker and just more fun. I wish they added weaknesses to bosses though. Obviously remove the knockout thing so it's not piss easy, but there still should be weaknesses. And that about ends my piece on good parts of the combat. Anyway, back to this fucking 5-hour segment, losing over my shit over this fucking embarrassment they call enemy design because I just can't fucking help it. Why does it take 20 hours into the game to get the moves that actually make this game remotely enjoyable or interesting? Why the fuck can these birds make themselves invincible for like a million turns where I can't do shit? Why the fuck does this cat or fucking gamer girl have to chime in every single fucking turn to tell me that Panther's defense is down? I fucking know. How'd you make this worse than Teddy? Why'd you give this guy super high defense and resistance to base attacks but not weak to any attacks that require actual fucking SP? This is just a giant fucking SP waster. Am I fighting an orc or a fucking toll booth? Why'd you give this guy the highest fucking defense ever, the status effect that makes my party fucking useless and an attack that insta-kills every inflicted member instantly? Is this fucking Genshin? Why would they do like 14 all attacks and waste 30 fucking minutes on this shit? Why can't this happen in one turn of my party in the middle of a fucking boss fight making me start all over again? Why do you have an encounter with 5 guys with fucking giant defense that resist nearly everything? I can't do anything without doing like 14 all attacks, and even then you'll kill them because their defense is so fucking high and then they all fully heal or something. No, it like 30 fucking times and maybe with 2 hours of fucking money doing it, like 4 times. Is it challenging to waste hours hoping for some RNG that the boss doesn't do some absurd bullshit that kills you instantly? If you need to do a million attacks and waste a bunch of fucking SP, maybe your enemies have way too much fucking defense and you need to stop building them like a fucking Newgrounds RPG boss. How the fuck can you call yourself game designers with these fucking types of decision makings that you're making with these fucking monsters or enemies or whatever the fuck? Demons. Why the fuck are you making enemies like this in your 5th installment in a series? How have you made all these fucking RPGs and still not know what the fuck you're doing enemy-wise? Obviously know what the fuck is up with it narrative and UI-wise. You get like a very specific lobotomy at the end of development to only learn how to be better devs at everything but combat. Because it seems like you're just kind of like copying and pasting shit from like non-Persona games and just like calling it a fucking day. Like it works in those games, but this isn't a fucking game. This is Persona. You're not a bad RPG. Stop fucking acting like one. At least like the attempt at making your enemies based on different ways to break the game. But if you and your enemy have the same list of boring moves that are like 5 unique ones with slight buffs and nothing else, makes it brokenness based on something as boring as a higher stat in the right place or doing RNG based one-turn KOs, which is fucking lame. The reason why Epic Battle Fantasy is one of my favorite JRPGs and should be yours too is that it allows the player to be broken. There are so many fucking kits that you can have in this 3 to 5 character party based on what entry you're playing. Maybe 2 if you fucking hate yourself. Each setup is a different way of fucking with the developer. What's great is the developer is also fucking with you too. There are more fucking status effects in this game than there are unique encounters with Persona, the series. And never in each entry of Epic Battle Fantasy did ever feel lost. You have luck bonuses, poison, disease, frost, revive, stat buffs, burn, scorch, doom, bless, brave, charge, haste, charm, confuse, curse, shroud, dagger, stun, siphon, target, and somehow fucking more. And yet every entry eases you into fucking madness so it's never confusing. There are 3 armor slots per character, 3 charm slots, and there are piles of items, each with their own elemental resistances, status interactions with them, auto status effects, and even buffs with certain attacks, and even more items coming from weapons with different focuses different for each character. Such builds include a berserker fighter with self-heal based on damage, which he has plenty of. You can also kit them with a status brave, which makes them unkillable above 50% HP, which is always. Just don't have the rest of your party die while doing this because you might not be able to play the game until you run into one enemy with dark immunity. An insta-kill and doom based high accuracy and status effect archer, where as long as their doom status isn't absolutely 100%, you can reinstill the fear of God into your enemies. Unlimit breaker based cat that with enough buffs makes endgame bosses a common enemy. A crazy both burst and AoE damage made that decreases the morale of both sides of the field as your allies have nothing left to do and no sons for their enemies' families to bury. Only good news for your support Anne though, because she finally has something to do. A totally fair mage with renewed regen, auto revive, and extra turn, sometimes 2 by the way, on almost every turn that makes the game dev pound sand after first trying the boss on the highest difficulty. You can actually make this worse by giving them the MLG glasses, which makes them survive with 0 HP. Same your auto revive if you heal the next turn. Otherwise you just die from a bug, and if you happen to be in the 99.8% of turns that you have regen, you'll just be completely unaffected. Basically Natalie's really fucking good. You can look up just about anything based anything and you'll have someone flexing their fit somewhere. What the fuck kind of shit does Persona have? That you grinded out your starter to be usable endgame, I guess? Fucking nothing, that's what. That Omega Lord or kick-ass I talked about earlier is nothing more than them just having the best 5 endgame moves. Sure, it's good, but is it fun or interesting outside whatever commitment you got raising it? No. Don't pretend it does. Get a fucking dog, you overly sentimental fuck. There's also a fucking double row of elements for everyone with no need of some fucking retarded element chart. You just have to use your brain or mouse over them. All these elements are slightly adjusted on each enemy, allowing the devs to create these crazy unique enemies and areas based on their elements as you yourself adjust your gear and your broken setups accordingly. Unlike the SMT series where even though I like it doesn't give you all the weaknesses of the enemies and you have to guess, unlike EBF where you have to like just summon and you get it instantly. In that game you can actually guess what the weaknesses and resistance are of the enemies because they aren't random vague fucking demons that only an obscure history major with a Rick and Morty IQ to understand based on their references to mythology. That's me assuming they even have any basis and it's not completely fucking random because an upgraded version of the enemy will have completely different weakness alignments. This vague elemental shit gets even worse because the only way to get around it is to reuse them over and over. So if you build a library of monster weaknesses, you can actually take the advantage. So this game is stuck between making it shit because you get bored of seeing the same enemies or making it shit because you're stuck guessing and wasting SPO on elemental attacks that don't do fucking anything, making me funnel towards everyone making a physical or healer build because physical moves are the most common neutral element. Somehow making the most variation in this game of crit-based Ryuji with AoE multi-hit attacks. Congrats, you forced something into existence by making it somehow worse. There is never a point in Epic Battle Fantasy where you're stuck hitting an enemy for 40 years because only one person in your party happens to have the elemental attack needed to effectively damage something. There is always two weaknesses or the option of getting around it with your gear setup, or just having everybody having slightly different elements that you can adjust with even more temporary skills that you can give them. Which is not something you can say about Persono where you get freely locked in such a trap, and it being even worse because they're sometimes immune to every other type, and even hitting them with the right damage will take 40 all-out attacks to kill them anyway with their bloated HP. In Epic Battle Fantasy, either you kill them faster or they fuck your day. Even with bosses, you have a tangible sense each turn that you made progress hurting them and wiping their minions before their bosses charges and wipes your ass with fucking sandpaper. Do not give me some shit like you're looking for the wrong experience if you're looking for that kind of variety in games like EBF, because the combat experience here has been copy and pasted since the beginning of SMT, which by the way is more than 20 years. I fucking guessed that earlier and it was about fucking like 2 times that. And it is very fucking clear that it doesn't work in Persona because I've never heard anybody compliment this game outside social links. In fact, the only games I hear about in SMT is Persona outside people that also find Fire Emblem enjoyable, and I don't find the opinions of those type of people valid. It's fucking Coomer chess, like go fuck yourself. There is a reason why I can have the time of my life going through 30 ways of enemies in Epic Battle Fantasy 5 while listening to No Cock Like Horse Cock, and why I get drained playing 20 minutes of Persona Palace after my first playthrough. There was so much hype around SMT5 and the remake of Nocturne because fans of Persona Royals were like looking for new shit, and I never heard anything about it after, probably because they were disappointed that the entire game was a shitty combat found in Persona ramped up to 10. There was a boss in Nocturne that can give itself free moves and wipe out your entire full HP party in one turn on a whim. No wonder no one outside Aspie is like this fucking franchise. Either embrace your brokenness of your system or not, because the settlement of just using super effective element-based moves and then all attacking for 55 fucking hours or being wiped out instantly is boring and tedious. Persona 5 is a near perfect game if it wasn't for these giant fucking glaring mistakes and just some other weird shit that they either looked over or purposely left in because they didn't have time in development. I don't fucking know. Like the weird ass rule where you can't do an all-out attack or interrogation shit if you stun all the enemies in 2 separate turns, even if it's back-to-back where you stun like one and then kill the other. He's just fucking sitting there, why can't I do shit? Or having like 6 event days in a row where you actually can't make your own decisions besides what fucking DVD to watch at night that's doing like one of the 6 days and you just can't do shit. Or not just letting me hit the fucking bath at night. God, they're really fucking appealing to anime fans, aren't they? Or taking like 5 fucking years to raise the sets is really hard to get points towards in the first place. Fucking fishing only gives you like 1, like what the fuck? Or only being able to read books in like specific events. Have you actually fucking played your own games or do you just forget that you can do that in 4? Or not being able to enter your room outside the evening. You love fucking locking me in this room so much, why not let me actually fucking use it when I want to? Or your action triggers being too small, or taking 5 years to open a fucking goddamn door.
I could exercise you. This could be your phys ed. Cheat on your man, homie. Ah, I tried to sneak through the door, man. Can't make it. Can't make it. The shit's stuck.
I'm so glad. Yes.
Out of my way, son! Door stuck! Door stuck! Please!
Or having to tell me what a locked door means every fucking time. Why is it that after being told that in order to progress in this fucking dungeon I need a membership card, the only way to progress is actually go in anyway and be told once again that I need a membership card? Why are you not able to save at the end of a Mentos floor but able to hop to anywhere else including places you can save? Why when having the camera snap back behind you by pressing circle does not carry over the previous direction like in any other fucking game in existence, so you just immediately turn around and start heading the opposite direction of the way that you're fucking going? This shit carries over series, like how the fuck have you not fixed this? Why for the Tower Covenant quest do you need to specifically immediately send a calling card and meet with him again after arranging it, instead of just going in like mementos like every other fucking competent quest in existence? Was this leftover from how you originally planned competent quest and just fucking forgot to change this one? Why do I get kindness from the Sajiro rank 7 even though I already need mad kindness to even get here? Can I fucking sub my face for making me waste time leveling up instead of actually just let me play this fucking part of the game? Why do I get like 2 separate point ups for the diner if it's raining, where I get like the normal 2 knowledge and then like a separate 1 knowledge right after it, as opposed to something like the bathhouse where the weather effect just turns to 2 points into 3? What the fuck is this? How is this fucking happening like a AAA game? Oh wait, no, there's fucking... Why when sneaking in a dungeon do you interrupt enemy walk cycle and you're just stuck sitting there forever or forced to go back to let it pass? What the fuck is this room of motherfuckers stuck on? Why do you have to explain to me what's happening on screen for every fucking puzzle? Am I a child? Like, is your fucking target audience fucking brain dead 4-year-olds? Obviously the fuck not with this M rating. Is your audience Coomers? Yeah, oh yeah. When you have me practically begging and screaming to let me play your fucking game. You should know your game is good, because it really is. It's like, it's a fun game, right? But you're holding back the enjoyment for arbitrary reasons that don't really exist but to waste your time and keep you from experiencing everything in this game without playing entirely again in New Game Plus. And it's like, fucking why, man? Who the fuck would ever want to play the exact same 50-hour game back to back? Especially like 3 fucking times. I mean, without a Steam achievement, of course. Don't you as devs want this to be the best game it can be? It honestly feels like, and I mean this, like they're poured their fucking heart into making this game as good as humanly possible, and then some fucking asshole did everything he could to try and lock away that good shit just for some more playtime to brag about on the store page. So fucking close to that perfect game, and only be ripped up by some counterproductive bullshit seemingly added last minute that sticks out like a sore thumb. Maybe all this shit that I've talked is fixed in Royals, the definitive edition. I don't know. I fucking hope. Again, I emulated it for PS3, so I don't fucking know. But sometimes it makes it seem like you're trying to make me fucking hate it. Like you brought out the most amazing dish I ever fucking seen this restaurant, but like I can clearly fucking see that the cook took a huge fucking spit take right on top of it. This game is a fucking roller coaster of likability, which you may have noticed from how fucking like flip-floppy I've been this entire video. It goes from fucking 10 out of 10 to what the fuck are you doing, to begging to play the fucking game, to fucking Deus Ex Machina now in theaters, to holy shit it's a game again. Wait, oh shit, this is fucking good. No way, where the fuck has this been? Persona 5 is a really min-max of all its parts. It has great characters and development, yet it has systems and barriers that hold you from looking back to everything it has to fucking offer. It is a fun combat system with a great UI that has a bunch of bullshit that you can explore and experiment with, but the enemies you face are frankly bullshit, and it takes way too long to get to the point where you can explore and experiment. You might be prepared for me to give this game like a bad score. I don't know why you fucking care about that. But Persona 5 is a good game, a very flawed game, but like, it's still a good game. As I was actively writing the script as I played, the final score was really all over the place. I think right after the Futaba arc was when this game's like in-your-face bullshit really started to hit hard and like the fucking plot and pacing started to get muddled. I was even prepared to explain in somehow more detail how pissed off it made me, but over the rest of the game, this end score really started to climb back up. It wasn't because it fixed any of its problems or really stopped getting in your way, but rather it gave you a story that distracted you from it and made you forget all the shit you had to climb through as if it was short and meaningless. You really need to stick around for it to be all worth it. I know I sound like a fucking shonen fan, but like I'm serious. Hell, it actually made me like Morgana at the end, so I mean after that huge fucking spiel, I guess you know I'm not full of shit. But even though the game might benefit greatly from the Halo effect, doesn't mean any flaws are less apparent and annoying. Persona 5 is an 8 out of 10. A great game, one of the best, but not a perfect game by any means.
These nuts.
If you had any intention of playing this game, but you just fucking couldn't because you're too poor for a PlayStation like me, just fucking emulate it and waste a couple weeks. It's worth it. Even better if you buy Persona 4 Gold on Steam to see how it evolved from over that game to this one. There is just so much shit taken straight from that game character-wise. While the step up in bigger plot and themes narrowly more interesting, and causes the fall short Persona 4 in depth of the characters and how they fit in other than your teammates and damsels in distress. Again, a fucking JoJo Perfort of 3, but like, you know, fucking legit. I feel like they try to say this by copying and pasting these characters, but like in slight variations like some fucking DeviantArt fanfic. Playing Persona 5 as an entry alone makes it feel like they're so real and well written, but then playing Persona 4 right after makes it all fall apart and feel derived and uninspired, which I think speaks pretty fucking well to how good Persona 4 is if its knockoffs are considered even remotely likable, and yet I love them enough to rave about them earlier. Dojima, Nanako, Hisano, Naoto, Ai, Yumi, Nurnek, fucking Kanji.
I don't know why they have a gay guy in it, but it's still funny.
There's so many characters with such intense emotional high points, real struggles and emotion put into them, something other than someone not being nice to them. Seriously, that is like every single fucking character in Persona 5. If you had to ask me what my favorite character was, it would probably be whatever social link I just did. Not all of them though, because sometimes it's literally just telling a guy you can't film porn at their house, but like, I would rather have that game than one where every character is copied only on their surface level without any real character behind it and given a fucking Yukiko arc. Except Kawakami, that was all in the fucking fanfic writers that made this game. 100% character, do not steal. It was hot though. It should be noted, just, you know, one last thing before I end the video. If you fucking hate how anime or Japanese media is structured or written, you should not play this game. You will probably not like it or any of these fucking games in this series. But if you have the free time anyway, I recommend pirating and playing it for at least until the end of the 3rd dungeon. If you still don't like it, you're probably better off playing something else. If you do, spend the money for Royals, because that experience is just going to be better and it's going to be more to see in the actual fucking game. There was a lot to like about Persona 5 or just Persona, but if you just hate how the story is presented on a detail by detail basis or you don't like the characters enough to pull you along, you're not going to enjoy yourself and you're wasting your time in life that could be spent enjoying something more. So yeah, that 8 out of 10 is kind of fucking, it's kind of biased, but, you know, if you do like it, then it's worth it. Fucking One Piece fan over here, fucking kill yourself. Ugh, fucking, oh, dude. Holy shit. Fucking took me like 12 hours to get this fucking Persona. Here, right, here we go.
Those long days passing by from the door, like late summer days slowly fade away. Find your way through the favorite tune, playing all day with my eyes closed. Those long days passing by from the door.
Wifey?
It's pronounced Ralph.
Hey guys, this is kind of like after the fact of fucking everything. Sorry for like the 3 people that actually care about my channel that like is fucking like a year late or some shit. I go to college and I go to college for like an actual degree. So a lot of my time is doing fucking college, making sure I actually get like a GPA that I can get a job. And if I'm not doing school, then I'm going out fucking with my friends. And I like making YouTube videos. I enjoy it a lot, but I feel like I put a lot of work into my YouTube videos and I don't see the kind of return that I kind of want. Cause like I'm not gonna be able to make a fucking job out of this. So I'll make it when I want, when I have the time and when I enjoy it. But on my like list of priorities, what I'm doing in life, YouTube isn't really at the fucking top. I'll have more free time in next year of college to actually do this. Last year was pretty fucking bad. I think it was like the worst year for my degree, really. So hopefully I do more of that. My room, I'm actually moving into an apartment, so my audio is not going to be as bad. I didn't think it was that bad in this video. There was a lot of fucking just things I just need to re-record, but was too lazy. The fucking moron. I might not finish it in time and just fucking upload it anyway. If that's the case, then yeah. I hope you enjoyed. Where that's kind of gay. Whatever. Bye.